Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Okay, let's be sure everything I did okay and start to play. Okay, let's start our first game in this stream. D5 can be moved. I am starting with French-Sicilian defense here. Also that's mixed when you are trying C5 and E6, right? Knight C6, we will get some trade and we will bring all that pawns on center. Let's take with a pawn because now he has to go back and he's doing two moves with his bishop. That means now I'm up a move. Okay, even my bishops are doing great job. I can bring my pawn on c4, that will block his bishop from d3 and also will open this another side, that queen side, but I think I will try to work in his king side because bishops are hitting there too good. And knight f3 can be a really good move because the knight always on f3 and as black on f6 is doing great job even for protectively and hitting knight squares that can help you somehow bring your other figures. And because his bishop is under attack, he's sacrificing a pawn on c3 to keep that, and in the next move probably I will take the bishop. Okay, let's do that, and we need to save this active position. Rook b4 can be moved, so I'm attacking his queen and also getting that fourth rank. Okay, let's take the queen, he can't take it back, but he's losing the rook, and that's why he resigned. Okay, he resigned, he just loses rook in one move. And even high rated like 1700 players is resigning in 10 moves just. That can happen if you are playing some high rated player. Just don't think that you can win, why not? Always there is a chance for win even you are playing with high rated players. There are even 2000 rated players, they are losing just in 10 moves. Even grandmasters, you know. That's rarely happened, but no, that's happening, right? And I'm waiting for your challenge. If you are ready, send me challenge and let's play with me. Okay, his knight is doing great job on this e5, so I would be happy if we trade somehow, but if I take now, just his pawns would be so good in that position. So I don't want to give him that nice pawn structure. Also my pawns are double, but that's hitting really good squares on it. And that will be hurt him for get some activation. Okay, let's bring the rook on c-file, and now we are sure that he can't just get that c-file and do something that he wants. Also his bishop is active. We are trying to deactivate it. Okay, now c5 isn't overprotected from him and we can trade. And anyway, we are getting that c-file, so that should be very good for us. Probably b5 can be moved after this trade because my bishop isn't doing really great job on d7. I will push this on b5, which I will hit that pawn on e2, and he needs to bring all his forces to defend that. So in this time, now I can't take, but I was preparing to do that. Okay, let's get some trade, and now my queen can get this C rank. So probably I can check, try to take another pawns, and I'm happy to see my all pawns are dead white squares, because he has dark square. Bishop now, now he can't attack on my position, okay? Okay, if he goes g5, just I can bring my bishop on h5, which will hit e2 pawn, which is a little bit weak, I will say. So I'm trying him to overextending his position, and that time I will attack from this side, but probably he know about that, what I'm trying to do. That's still a little bit hard position. g5, just, I don't know, probably I need to bring my bishop on f5 and attack this pawn on h3. And if I try to attack this pawn on h3 after g5, okay, he has another plans, and I'm not sure that will work or not. I will try to bring my queen near his king, but okay, that was mouse click a2. I was trying to do a2 and bring my queen on that first rank where I can check and probably take his kingside pawns. We have Alpine Sicilian defense. Okay, let's take these pawns, get some simple position there. Okay, we don't need to take castle, right? Castle and bring the rook on this open file. When you are seeing open file, just bring your pieces over there, especially the rooks, because the rooks is really doing their job great in that open file. Bishop f5 I believe only moved because I don't wanna go back to block some rook way. Okay, I don't need to trade the bishops because my bishop is doing great job here. Why I need it? And also if I take, his rook will be active on that c file, which I probably don't like, you know. What if I take the pawn? Because if he takes with a king, I have bishop g6 check. I will take his rook. Okay, let's do that. I give him 2 pieces for a rook, but this should be okay in this position because that's weakening his king side. That should be brilliant move, but I'm not sure. Knight f3, and I will try to jump on e5. Okay, let's bring a4 and knight f3 e5 to, if we have this knight on e5, that should be really good. That will attack so much squares on it. Okay, but if he takes, we will take with a bishop, and also our bishop should be really good in this c file that will hit this pawn on g7, and I would have enough time to bring another pieces. Also, I like to trade with his knight because this knight on c6 will doing great job on his queen side. Now these pawns are undefended. So what if I try to take that pawns? a7 is hang after a6. Okay, he's not trying to do that. Just if he gets some trade, probably f2 will be a little bit weak. But I don't need to waste the time for taking his bishop on d6. Okay, let's do that. This queen is still defending, but I would like to bring my pawn on f3 because the rook will be blocked, so it can hit on that f2 pawn anyway. If I take, I will take with a queen, right? Anyway, let's do that. I'm not sure what he's trying to do. Maybe he can take with a rook. I will sacrifice my queen because My position is already a little bit good. He sacrificed his bishop, I don't know why. Probably that's don't need. His knight isn't doing great job here, just that's attacking figure, but all these squares that he could jump and try to trick me somehow, that's all squares are defended. Now the only thing that we need to just trade the pieces and reach endgame where we will up exchange and even 2 pawns. Okay, he's pressuring on my king side with his all pieces, but because I have a really good position and I'm up exchange, I don't need to think about that so much. Just queen d4, try to trade, and all these figures and pawns will be hang. Okay, I believe king h1 shouldn't be mistake. I am threatening queen d5 check, and I am forcing him to take. If he not take, I will trade the queens, and his knight will be hang. His pawns are isolated, so I will try to take that, get some activation, and make a new queen there. I believe he blunders. Because the knight is hanging, the rook is hanging. He needs to defend one. If he goes back, just... Okay, that's very tricky. If I take the knight, he will take the rook. If I take the rook, he will take with a knight. And okay, not a problem. Just because our position is so good there, we are not losing even like that. Let's bring our pawns in active squares and try to take another pawn on b5. So our a3 pawn passed pawn, right? His time is a little bit low than mine, but I won't try to win him on time. His king is cut off from that pawn on a7, already a7. Okay, let's make and check, right? King c1, another check. Okay, we are getting this win. Let's play another game. I'm waiting for your challenges. We played very well our last game. Just if we have chance, I will show you Vienna Gambit, but my opponent isn't playing a5, just c6, Scandinavian defense, Sicilian defense, I don't know. a5 is a really simple development as black, so very much players are prefer to play Sicilian, Scandinavian, or even g6, King's Indian, or modern defense. Okay, but the thing is that you need to learn that's endgames, because when you know endgames, you know you understanding chess, right? You start to understand that. But openings, if you try to play best moves, you can play all the openings, almost all the openings, without any hesitation. And I think that's right time to take the knight on c6. Let's trade, because at this time I can play a5, and after this trade I would have this open d-file, and his knight is under attack. He has to bring it, I don't know where. Okay, I can trade. I think I have to trade, because if he takes, my pawns will be double and pawn on a2 will be isolated. So that pawn should be great job here on that endgame. I am now preparing for endgame. We can trade the pawn, I will be down a pawn. But I get my rook on that 7th rank, so his 2 pawns are hanging. I will pick my pawn. b2 is hang, I think that's the only normal move he can play. But b7 and a7 is hang, I'm gonna take one of that pawns, because in that position he can defend two of them, right? So I will try to bring another rook right on this d7 rook I brought there. That's really important to get your rook on 7th rank when you are playing as white. And what if I take another pawn? I think that's still drawn position, but that should be not easy to play, because if our time is running, just time pressure, you can be up a figure and not win because for time pressure. I believe that will be trade here, because that should be a little bit hard for him to defend. If I were black, I would prefer to just activate another rook, because activation is a really good in chess than when you are up a piece or some pawns. Because now my rooks are hyperactive, I will say, I can even get at 7th rank, and his rook on f8 will stay here forever, because if it moves after rook b7, just f7 will be hang, and because he has dark square bishop, how he can defend this? If, for example, f5, h7 will be hang, and so on. And his rook isn't doing anything besides protecting this pawn on f7. And I would have enough time to bring my king on the middle, because in endgames you need to bring your king that's equal the knight on the middle game. That's very important to bring your king, you know. And probably he's sacrificing a pawn, because he has enough time to bring the rook on the game. Probably rook a8 could be a move. Probably he just missed that he's giving a pawn to me. Rook a7, just rook a8 can happen, why not? Okay, I think I bring my king early there, because he can try to do something here. And I was afraid that he could just bring another rook into the game and hit my bishop. Probably that was the plan. Now that won't be made, but we need to be a little bit careful, because bishop is protecting that squares for my king's run, and because his position was a little bit bad and he's overextended his position, I am attacking in the rook, and rook d8. Okay, he's trying to mate from a1 because his time is a low. His position wasn't that good, so he overthinks. That's why he's gonna lose on time, but so I can check, why not? Okay, very well. Let's start another game. I will return my 2000 rating, I believe. I was in Blitz, and even I used to be 2200 rated as rapid. Just, I don't know. Probably streams a little bit disturbing, but anyway, I am happy to do streams and help people. I am playing with everyone. This pawn is hang. But if d4, now his bishop is active there. But I will bring my bishop on b7, and that should be protected. What if I take? He missed? What is he trying to do? Ah, okay. The thing is that I can't take. Okay, now these light squares are very weak. What if I try bishop b7? Okay, the knight is still not under attack, so what if I try to bring bishop b7 and because his light square bishop isn't there, I would try to mate him from g2 or h1. Now I believe that a7 is hang. f3 just... Now his bishop isn't guarding that knight. He can even trade, I would be happy somehow. I can even castle after that. Not sure, but his knight was hanging and his bishop is hang. So I will trade one of these pieces. My position should be a little bit good. I have two pieces against his rook. But also his rook is very active over there, you know? Okay, he hangs a pawn. Okay, I'm up a point because I have two pieces against his two rooks. I don't need to castle, because for castle I need to just overextend my position, probably g5 and bring the bishop. But because that's a middle game and we are going to end game, and if he takes... Okay, I should lose material there. How I said, my position was a little bit good. I had two pieces against his rook, but because his position was active, that's why he had some advantage. Let's play h5 to keep my bishop on that f3. Probably if he takes, I need to take with a pawn, right? Because this h file will be open. But somehow he is not doing that. See how is it important to keep the rook on that open files? I will try to go b4 and take this c2. He's trying check and mate. That should be mate or not? Okay, he's trying to do that because at other time I could bring my king on f5, because now that's defended I can't. Let's attack on his rook. Takes the pawn, just bishop d2 and c2 pawn will be hang. I'm gonna take in the next move. And can I bring the rook or not? Probably he will try to double his rooks and hit this pawn on f6. I'm not sure, but let's see. I will try to bring my rook at that back and take his pawns. King e5 only move. I will take other pawn there, and there is no piece hanging, right? Let's try to defend this position sometime. Sorry everyone, my voice was gone. Sorry about that. Okay, you can play with me, send me a challenge. After this game I will accept, you can even send me friend request. And I forgot to say hi. Okay, my voice was returned. If there is a problem about voice, please say me about that, okay? Bishop d5. Okay, you can say me some facts about space. I think the chat even can like the topic. That's our topic, me and her. My sound like Magnus. Probably I'm Secret Magnus, why not? I'm waiting for you. Yes, just can be, why not? Secret Magnus's account. Okay, and he blunders his knight because somehow he couldn't defend that. Let's cut off the queen. Our queens are hanging. Okay, I think I blundered this. No problem, even Magnus can blunder, okay? I will take with a bishop and my time is low. Okay, I think here everything is hanging. That should be right time for resign. Aiden Dots, are you sending me a challenge or not? I will accept and let's play if you still write in the comments and I need to wait or not. Still I haven't challenged. So let's start new game. And I will wait for your respawn. Okay, just try to pressure. Okay, sorry for that. I will play with you next game for sure. Okay. 2x better than me, right? Okay, after this game, sure, I will wait just. I want to be that fast, right? b5, b4 I will try, and also my bishop will hit in this diagonal. So, because the knight isn't defending a2, I will try to take that pawn. He has to bring that pawn forward to not lose that. But b-file is open. That should be really hard for him to defend, especially probably he missed that check. And I have really good attack on that pawn, which he can't defend. If he tries somehow. Just I have 3 attackers and he has 1 defender. The one also defender was his king, but his king runs south. Okay, but he took only pawn. So not a problem, let's take with a rook to get that rook on that second rank. Just I can check, but I'm not sure that should be fork or not. Let's attack on his rook, just bringing another piece into the game, because his rook is active here. What if I check? If his knight wasn't on that square, just bishop b5, that should be pinned there. Did you know my country the water stopped because of a water interruption? It took like probably 51 hours. Oh my god, 51 hours is a really much. Really interesting fact, but where are you from? What's your country? Okay, I'm trying to pin his queen, but because if I take the rook... Okay, that should be blunder. He lost so much time about that, but he did blunder. Oh, you are from Malaysia, okay? Very interesting fact about that. Let's check with a bishop. See how my bishops are so active there. And that looks like winning for me, also he missed that. Rook, let's take it too. And he resigned. Okay, I'm waiting for your challenge. Send me a challenge and let's play. I then thought I promised I will play with you, okay? So I think no problem that you will send me a challenge. Just Chess.com is somehow doing really bad job and somehow that's lagging. That's why a little bit hard and being some problems. Are you sending or not? Let's wait 1 minute or a little bit low that 1 minute and let's play. Okay, I have friend request. His name starts with dot. I think he should be he. Okay, I will send you a challenge, not a problem. And let's start to play. I will play as black our first game. What's his rating? I sent it to please accept my challenge because your challenge I didn't see. I sent you a challenge. Okay, 400 rated player. Not bad. He's up from his chess skills up 10. 40% people for chess players. If we try to say it about in the world, that should be really good player. That probably 80% of people, right? Okay. I have this open e-file, so what if I try to bring this? Knight e4, e4 is just very good protectively for him, but I don't know why he blundered that pawn. Probably he thought that that was defense somehow. But even he didn't need to push that pawn if his bishop isn't on g2, because if I bring my bishop on that h3, that will hit the rook. If I not take the rook, probably I can bring my queen on the game. And g2 will be very weak. I will try to mate him from there. Now I have 1274 brilliant moves. Okay, you did 2 brilliant moves. How much that was yesterday? He can't take. Please not take. You will miss your queen, and because I know what blunder moves will my opponent do, so I know how much rating they are, and I am reading what mistake they will do, okay? Let's bring the knight into the game and try to mate him. Queen h4 and remain only 2 moves for mate if king h1. Knight f3, king h1 from h2 will be mate, if not, his rook will gun. Okay, he blunders the mate, but he was actually lost there. Okay, checkmate. Let's try to open with e4. I will show you Vaiana Gambit if he plays e5. Just let's see. You can offer me openings. What opening do you want to see? I will play with that opening. And I will explain you that I know so much openings, but I prefer not so much openings, I will say. For example, I am playing Alepin Sicilian defense. C3 and D4 if you are trading. Just white is having really good center. There should be 2s2. In that chess.com there are even 4 vs4. Do you know that when there are pieces red, green, blue and red, you can play 2 vs 2 and even 1 vs 1. You know about that or not? In that another time I played that chess very much times. But the board is so big, like 8 sides of this board. And that's very actually hard to calculate. Even Gotham Chess has some videos that he's playing with Hikaru and Anna Krumling. And some GMs and really good chess players. Okay, what if bishop a3? I'm a little bit worried about that my g4 square is a little bit weak. He can just bring his bishop into that square and the knight. So let's protect. I would like to bring my knight on d5, but I will just hang that pawn on a4. So I think because he's overextended his king side and also he castled king side, I will try to bishop c2 and then queen d3. I will try to mate him from h7 and only one piece is defending that. That piece is knight on f6. So I wouldn't take the bishop, because if I take that and he will take with a pawn, the rook will do great job here, and somehow if I try to break his position and try to mate him, just that can't happen, you know? Rook f7 will come immediately. That pawn is disturbing him very much, this pawn on f7. That should be the problem. I am wondering for sacrifice, but queen d3, bishop, knight b4, and I will lose one of that pieces, so first let's defend this b4 and queen d3, okay? At that time probably a3 can work. I have to take, I will say. There is Roblox Chess Pro. Roblox Chess? Really, what is it? Bro thinks he's Hikaru. No, bro thinks he's Magnus. I am really like playing as Magnus's style. Yes, I am not Magnus, but his style is really good. Just my explanation, I will say, is a little bit like Hikaru, probably why you said that. And now I will have this really nice diagonal after moving this pawn. Okay, I did. Magnus the second. Okay, thank you for that. I will trade these pieces and his pawn will hang after this. So because he's rook on that active file, I will bring another one to deactivate the rook, probably with a trade. But he needs to see that his rook is hang. Okay, probably he didn't see that. He would move the rook first. Okay, really good move. Now everything is protected in his position. Also, my figures are doing great job here. Knight a5. I will hit the bishop, even if I have some chance. I will try to bring my knight on d6 or f6, because that will hit so much good squares on it. If you challenge the real Magnus, probably you will win. Okay, thank you for me overrated. Probably not, but I wish I would um, win him. Let's take the bishop. In the end games, bishops are really cool figures than the knights, because the open positions, bishops are hilarious. In the closed positions, I will say knights are better. So I will try to bring my bishop on c3, and just his rook can't escape, you know. Okay, probably that's why he went before. And what if rook a8 check? His time is actually very low. He will gonna blunder something. And if you played this game for 80 to 75 days, you will have the LO. Okay, probably no one has LO like that. But I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just playing, I am really close to be national master. I want that, not GM or something. If I have chance, I will try to think about more for my career, but I am using programming. I think I want to use that very much time than chess, but also I like chess. Chess is my really good hobby. Also, I am doing arm wrestling, which is the second my favorite hobby. Okay, my pawn is going to become a queen, but that's why he sacrificed. Domo lost the chance to take the pawn. Where there isn't any pawn that hangs over the less than 10 moves. At d6 and f6. I'm not sure about that, you know. I didn't saw that anything is hang, but can happen, why not? If you are saying, probably you saw. If he takes the pawn, I'm gonna mate. Probably I'm gonna mate anyway. Because all this is protected. Okay, and he hangs mate in 1. But his position was lost at that time, okay? Let's send him a rematch and see is he gonna play one more time or not. Okay, probably he isn't accepting. Not problem, let's play another game. Also, he played very cool as 400 rated players. He has really good chances to become high rated, although he's low. a6 is a move that almost all Sicilian players need to do. Because see how I am pressuring this b file so much. Okay, let's get some simple development there. So at this time I can castle, and e4 is protecting a4, right? I can even try a4, just b4 can be moved. Okay, I thought about that. I'm trying to break that center, which isn't happening, but he's missing his knight and the rook. He will protect the rook, but he can't do something about the knight on a4. He will lose that. That's why he prefers to sacrifice, but I don't need your knight. Oh, there is only one move that he could just defend. And he plays it. I will go bishop b8 to pressure his knight and forcing him to trade his pieces because I'm up rook. Okay, no problem, bro. You played very well, I see. As 400 rated players, very cool game. You have really good chances to become high rated. I think your main mistake is about chess understanding, right? And you can improve that with calculation. Just try to calculate hard. That's why you can solve puzzles or play much rapid games, because with rapid you are creating that understanding on chess. I didn't very much puzzles, but when you are trying to get higher elo, play rapid games. That should be really cool. I don't know why if knight g5, but anyway, really good square I will say. But how can I use that as advantage? He probably misses the pawn on c3. Okay, I'm up a full rook, I don't need to think so hard, because even here my position is so good. Just my position so good, but my time is very low. Okay, really high yellow, and I will say highest, okay? Probably your brothers are from Mars. Okay, I will try to get some trades here, and because the only way that he can try to do something about that, push this pawn, and when it try to becomes the queen, that should be hard for me to defend. I will bring my knight into the game and try to take this pawn. No, I'm not Magnus. I wish I be Magnus. The pawn is hang. Okay, I don't know if you forgot just what it means. Okay, g3 to protect. Oh, I said I'm gonna lose on time. My time is low, right? Okay, I'm shuffling my pieces. We can even send him rematch challenge. Let's play one more time, why not? I will play my favorite opening where I have really good center as black, which white doesn't need to let me do that. 683. Oh, okay. I don't think I would win in that move, just I will get some position activation, okay? d4, and I'm not sure. Okay, let's go b6 and our protect that pawn. Probably knight a4, knight a5. Try to take the figures from there. Okay, and he's opening this file for me. Okay, goodbye. I will see you in my other streams, I believe. Like, that's a wrong number. Okay, what is Nightbot is trying to say? Already that Nightbot is, I don't know, disturbing our stream, okay? I just forgot to remove that. Okay, I sacrificed, you see? Okay, if you have to go, goodbye, have a good day. And let's continue this game. I'm trying to. Okay, no problem. Goodbye, have a good day to you. I'm trying to mate. Okay, if I take the bishop queen f3, I have to trade the queens. And at the time I couldn't mate. That was the idea, that he sacrificed the bishop on on f7. The only move is rook f2, so I can check, and his rook will be gone. That's why you need to think about that. If I take the rook, that should be just I would up, only exchange. But now I'm up rook. If he takes, queen h3 will be made. Okay, and how I said, because g1 was protected, and I get my revenge from him. Okay, if you want to play, send me challenge. If you played with me one time, we can play a rematch. There is just can't be any problem. Okay, wait a minute, please. How many times I'm doing stream? Okay, more than 1 hour. Let's see if we can take or not. Just 95 to not trade anything there. And now I can castle. c3 d4 can be idea. I will bring this pawn on d4, and after this trade I will try to take back this f4 pawn. That should be a right idea, even if he takes, and if not takes, d5 should be trade, and he's doing some inaccuracy move. He just moved his queen third time, or fourth, I'm not sure. But in the openings you don't need to move one piece like that, and that will be fifth time he's moving. I would have enough time to bring the knight, and he will take it actually. Because queen f7, I was trying to check and get some advantage from his position. He tried to trade it the queens for castle, but I'm preventing him from castle. So that should be a mistake. The knight is still defending c7, but if it's not, if it goes for example b6, if I take, I will take not exchange, just full rook. And he can't even attack my knight, so that can't be trade. My knight will protect. My pawn will protect my knight at the time. Okay, he's down exchange, but his knight in a very bad position, so I will take his down a knight. Just some moves his knight to bring out active squares, and I would have enough time to bring rook on a1, and I'm forcing him moves. Okay, he even not to trying defend that. This under attack, bishop d6, not bishop d4, because that should be pin and I could take that. Okay, I can take. I don't know why he gives it to me. Just bishop d6 could work there. If he takes, he will lose his bishop probably. Okay, he will lose his bishop, right? Let's see how much moves I saw. Okay, that's 6 or 7 move. I saw how my position will be winning after this. Okay, I took just 2 pieces over there. Now g5 is hang. Why is he still playing? Not play if you have position like this and your time is lower than opponent. Okay, let's go h4 to not be that back checkmate. Also, I know he's trying to go his king on a file and try to take my pawn, which I don't let him do that. Okay, what is he trying to do? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna mate him after some moves. I can even try to do some pre-moves. Okay, let's attack on it. That was a really easy game. And I will say all my games isn't that hard against 1700 rated players. I used to be 2200. That's why the reason I played so much high rated players. And these 1700 rated players are like a kid for me. Just I'm not sure in just sometimes I'm not playing that much good. I can't understand why is this even happening. Probably the stream is a little bit disturbing, you know? Just what is he trying to do? Some checks, right? But that won't help him. Okay, if you want to play, send me challenge. He's trying to stalemate or not? Probably. Okay, mate. Okay, he's trying to rematch with me, but I won't accept it. He's just... what is he doing? He played the last move when he was mate. He didn't even resign down. 14 points of material there. Don't do that, please. Okay, let's take, and that's very looks like when you're playing Sicilian defense against that. And this time I will try to castle. A5? Or not? Okay, my knight can jump on F5, which hit really good squares. Actually, this pawn is hang. Let's take with a knight. He has to take because F7 will be hang, and rook isn't guarding that square. This isn't under attack. Let's just attack with my bishop. My queen is active, so let's bring my knight to this active square. Okay, he missed the fork, that's why you need to have piece activity. He could try to attack on my one of figures and get out from that pin, but because he hasn't any attack, he's just losing exchange there. And this time I will bring my bishop out, and rook d1, I will try to take his knight because somehow he couldn't play that. He couldn't move. Because he has white square bishop, I will go h3, so he can't just prevent my king from going h2 and somewhere. Let's go queen g3 because g2 was very unprotected. He was trying to mate from there. And because we are up exchange, I will try to trade the queens, not even think about that my pawns will be double there. There is just no problem, can be. I'm up even on time, and he just couldn't calculate two moves. His knight and bishop was hanging. That's why he lost this game. Okay, we are getting 1700 elo. Not very hard, but also not very easy. Okay. Knight g5, yes. I get tricked or not, I will try to bring my rook on a8. Rook a8. He has to sacrifice the queen. I think he will see that probably queen d6 to get out from this, because rook a8, that should be even made, you know. That's a trap, but let's see if he gonna get out from that or not. Okay, hi bro. How are you? Let's trade the rooks. And I am trying to mate him, and if it's not, probably his bishop will be hang. I should take that, right? Or not? Oh, okay, knight g8. I won't be bankrupt, checkmate. See how good piece activation is a really good then. Up a piece, he was up a piece. He's even now up a pawn. But because my position is so active, I will try to take another one from here. Okay, if you want to play, send me challenge, I will play with you. If you want. Okay, I'm sacrificing these queenside pawns. I don't need it. Can I try to get his queenside and take this pawn? Okay. Now g3 or f4 could be only moved, just f4 would lose a pawn. Let's take the knight. If I take the queen, just there would be some trades only. Okay, after this game I will play with you. Don't quit. I will almost finish this game. Let's go h6 and now I can get out from this. He's not very bad, he has 2 pawns against my knight. Just knight a4 and queen f1. How we can defend this f2 pawn? That's why knight is really good piece. Probably he will try to make a draw from reputation, right? What if we try to get out from this with king f7? Can we get out from these checks or not? I think we need to get in a really good trip and go queenside. Okay, he's not even still trying to check. Let's take c2 pawn. And then d2. His pawn is close to b queen. But also... Okay, he missed his queen in 1. And he's still playing, okay? I'm not sure what he's thinking. Probably this game was a little bit pity. He was in a really good position, even with a down a piece. Okay, bro, I'm waiting for your challenge. You were in my friend list, well? But where are you? Okay, send me challenge if you are ready. I will wait 1 minute and then I will play, okay? Still there is no challenge. Okay, I think we need to start another game until he will send me, okay? If there is a problem to send a challenge, or I don't know, say me about that. I will try to help you. h2 was hang. What if we try knight peg and f5, f4? That should be the right idea. I need to get this knight peg. And even I could take the knight on g3. Okay, he's taking a pawn from me, but let's take it back. Also, his kingside is a little bit weak. I wish I have dark square bishop, because for his dark square weaknesses, that should be lost for him. You know why? Just all the squares are defended. Just this e7 square isn't protected. If he takes the knight after h6, he can just bring his bishop on e7. But no, because he can't. Let's go h6. He needs to sacrifice or... Okay, see how bad I lost. That was very tricky when he brought his rook on h3, which is defended from that queen attack. Okay, let's play alien gambit. If bishop g6, Martian gambit. Okay, let's trade the bishop's castle and knight a5. Just typical alien gambit. Knight bd7, I will try knight a5 and take with a pawn. Let's see, can I win this or not? Okay, his queen is in a pressure. And let's bring the rook. The alien gambit idea is when opponent hasn't a really good activation on that white squares on king side. That's why you need to use that idea and try to take something from there. And the idea is you don't need to trade so much pieces, just pieces when are trying to remove from him. For example, bishop b4 can be a really good move, just because that's attacking his rook. He needs to bring the rook, or even c5, because knight bd7. He could even try to do that, but now I'm trying to bring last piece in this activity. If that rook was in g4, I think that should be winning for me. Also, bishop is doing great job even in that side. If this rook I bring on that g4 square, how can he defend his position? That's why alien gambit is up. Okay, his knight is hang, and if he moves that, just I can take the pawn on h6. He can take because 4 pin, and probably he misses that he could take the knight. h6 is hang. I will take with a pawn. With a bishop he can take with a pawn. That's a pin. f2 is hang, but not a problem. I can't take, okay? Let's bring queen back, because if he takes on f2, just g7 would be hang, like this time. He's gonna lose after some moves later, okay? Okay, I won with alien gambit with knight sacrifice on f7. At this time probably I'm going to play alien gambit one more time, like how I played my last game. That's they are playing really the same, so probably I will win these two. Okay, let's get this straight and bring the rook on a1. Also, knight a5 is a move to remove the king from that defension. Queen b3, e6 is a little bit weak. And c4, because the important thing for him is to see his knight on d5. That's really good protectively for his also pawn, and hitting some squares that I don't like to protect it instead of attack. Okay, his king side is bulldozed, only 2 pieces over there, and white squares are very weak. I wish I would have white square bishop over there, and now his pawn is hang. Okay, I don't need to take, let's go f4, just because I sacrificed the knight on f7. I played alien gambit. If there is some new people that joined some seconds ago, just that for them. And in this opening you don't need to trade, because you are already down a piece. And what if I try to bring the knight on g3? Probably on h3 won't be mistake. Okay. Rook g3 or h3. I am trying to take this pawn on h6. That's hanging because for pin. He's seeing that. And let's get the last piece into the game. Okay, he misses his queen on one move. You saw that? Anyone saw or not? Even 1700 rated players doing this mistake. Okay, that just can't be mouse click, you know? There isn't any move that close to be a right move when he played Queen f7, okay? And we have another opening here. Let's respond with French Gambit with some activation. Just bishop f4. Okay, I was trying to do that, but because his bishop is protecting, at the time I couldn't go there. Not a problem. My position is a little bit slow in activation. But not a problem, I will try to bring it back. Bishop g5, I distract his bishop from that e7. But because he's protecting, I would have enough time to bring my queen on d2. And what if I take? I would like to go h4, h5, but because he's protecting two pieces over there, at that time I couldn't. Knight f3, the idea was f4 to defend this pawn very good. He needs to move the knight, because if I take, his pawns will be double, and e6 pawn is actually can be really weak there. I am seeing another weakness there. d6 is very weak, so probably he needs to bring his knight on d8, and after I will bring the knight on d6. Okay, he's trying to protect. And f4 is hang, how can I defend? Probably g3 will be only move that I can defend. And d6 is still free for me, so I will try to jump with my knight. Also b7 would be hang, but I'm not sure, I don't need to take that, because rook b8, b2 will gun after all that. How can I use this advantage for my knight in this active square? Probably b3, at that time I just can't take. Okay, he just couldn't bring his rook on b8 and take it back. So I'm happy to see that he has isolated pawn on i6, and besides that now my position is active. If I take with a pawn, the knight on f3 will be hang. Let's take with a knight. Okay, but now the other knight is hang. He played really good, but that's a fork. He can take the knight, and let's see what will happen here. Okay, let's take the bishop, and that's very equal position. Just I'm a little bit afraid from that trades. You saw what trades happened there. Okay, e6 is hanging. Rook a8, I believe, won't work. Okay, a5. If he takes, because he's pawns with each other, I'm trying to distract that pawns. He's trying to go forward, okay. I'm trying to create a threat, c5 check. He would lose the queen over there, but he saw that. King d3 or not, or d1. Just, I am using my king as protector. I have two isolated pawns, and I will say his central pawns are really cool in this position. Okay, king d3 to just defend this pawn. So this pawn on f5 is under attack. Not a problem, let's just defend that. And he's trying to go a2. How can I protect? Probably queen a2, just block his way, because that's already protected. And what's mate? You saw that's mate. I just closed all my position. Okay, we have Grob defense here. We don't need to take that. So let's wait until he will do that. And knight e7. Because knight a6, just g5, he will kick that. I'm gonna lose a pawn or not? Let's let him take that, but he's not trying to take, which I'm happy to see. a4, just he needs to bring his knight other way. I'm not sure where, probably h4. Okay, which he plays, but after g5, knight f4, right? Okay, knight f4, the only move. So I will take. Now I'm up a pawn or not? Still not, but my pawn structure in the center is really cool. I believe he will take, but anyway. Knight c2, just his pawn, his central pawns aren't moved yet, which I'm happy to see because he hasn't really good activation on there. Let's go bishop back. That should be really bad move, but I have a plan. What if a3? Ah, okay, that's with a check. Okay, this pawn is sank. I would like to bring this knight on c2, and because my bishop was protecting that square, that should be a really good idea for me. If I take the bishop, his knight will be hang. Let's see if he can see that or not. Okay, I'm trying to pin this. He needs to move his king, which he's not doing. I don't know why. I'm attacking on the knight. He will lose one of that pawns, but I have a pawns too. I'm up a figure or not? Okay, wait 1 minute. Okay, sorry for that. Let's check and see what we can respond here. Probably f6, and his bishop won't protect that h4 pawn. And if I move my king, that should be with a check. h4 will be lost. What is he doing? Probably he is trying to create this pawn chain, because his position was lost that time. He was down a figure there, but the problem is that he's down to 2 figures. I'm not sure what he was thinking about that, but okay. His pawns are still good, but I will try to take that somehow. What if rook g6 or not? Bishop g6, and probably after f5 I will check from h5. I'm up 2 pieces, but that's a little bit hard to win this, because he also has really good pawn structure. I believe that's the only move. I'm sacrificing that bishop because my rook isn't active on that g8. Oh, okay, he misses the rook in one move. Okay, see, even these high-rated players doing that one move ahead mistakes. Anyone can do blunder, you know. Okay, if he trades some piece, probably he would lose. Or that should be at least draw. I don't think he wants that. Probably he's trying to time me out. Let's see, can he or not? I will try everything to not get that mate. To not get timeout. He needs to think, not get that mate. Let's do the spree moves, and that should be made, okay? Okay, I won this game. With 3 seconds on my clock. A4, Vienna Gambit here. Now I will explain you that Vienna Gambit. And probably I don't need to play, I'm not sure. Because his bishop is protecting so much dark squares on my position. If he takes, I will pin. Just queen h4 isn't problem for me, g3 will just protect it. And here I am up a pawn. If he takes, how I said, that should be pin. I can't go right away. d4 because that's still protected. But knight f3, I'm just trying to take his queen and go d4. Now I can, and I have really good center. My king side is only little bit exposed. But the idea is if you are bringing your pieces here. Okay, let's take with a bishop and castle. So my rook will be active there, will hit that f7. So I believe he will do that long castle. And at that time, what should I play? I can even take this. Okay, I opened his king side, so I can check from a7. a6, sorry. a7 is a weak. I was thought about that. Okay, he's not taking, otherwise b file will be open for me. I would take anything from there. Let's take with a rook. Okay, that will be tricky, you know. If I move my queen, he will open check and take my queen. Not a pawn, only a pawn there. Let's see what he will play. Okay, let's get that trade. We lost that so bad. The knight is still defended. Bishop a3. I just would cut off the rook from that bishop. That could be the idea. No problem, let's end this game. Another one, yes? Let's play French Sicilian this time. Early queen activation. Not the best opening that you need to play. I will try to go d5 and take with a pawn or knight, I'm not sure. I will take with a pawn. to open that b file for me. Probably he thought about that because he didn't take that knight. Okay, that's hanging. Bishop h6 can be moved. Okay, he's not trying that, but I can go g6, and this bishop is cut off from h7 weak pawn. Let's bring the rook on d8. This rook isn't active, not even there, but the idea was that my bishop now can protect that g7, and he can't get his bishop on that diagonal. He went there, but what should he do in that position? There is not any move that he can do. Just let's take with a rook. I could also take with a knight, but what should my knight do in that position? For knight, I can even try to bring my queen. I don't know, probably c4, c7, and bring this on b6. And because this knight on this active, this deactivating also the bishop on c8. Okay, a4 can be moved. He take that, right? That should be moved because now I forked the knights. Knight's fork is a really rarely trap that you can do. b6. Let's see if we cannot take the bishop or not. If I were right, I don't think I need to take that. Okay, misses a pawn, but I think he's just giving it to me to get this activation. Because my king side is a little bit weak, not much figures defending there. Let's bring the knight on h7. Knight g5 can be moved. Probably he's trying to do that. We have a figure, but our figure not that much active there. I blundered, mate. Very bad. Or not. Okay, f8 is just open after all this, right? Okay, I was afraid. I would thought that knight g5, but knight f6 is a really good move that he played because that's have really good squares on it. But still I'm not bad, you know. Knight h7, just king g7, why not? And I'm attacking on his rook. In the next moves, I would like to bring on this rook on that king side to defend my king, but how? King a7, that should be open attack. I can't do that time. King g7, queen h7 check. I had to go just back. How can I defend? I haven't any way to do that. Knight g5, why he checked me from h7, I'm not sure. Okay, hello bro. You are from Armenia, right? Let's try to pin his knight and queen and take that. Okay, rook e3 and h3 can be moves, but because he can't do that. Because I will threaten mate in 1 on that back rank checkmate. a6 is defended. Okay, I knew he will do that mistake. Ախպերս հայ ես չէ դու? c3 is hang. His rook and pawn is actually hanging, so let's take this to open the rooks. Probably he's trying to time me out. So let's play it fast and also some pre-moves to be sure we are not losing this game on time, because that's already winning for me. I can even bring this bishop check. Okay, if anyone wants to play with me, send me a challenge. I will accept. Don't forget to follow my channel to not lose my streams and chance to play with me. Okay, that's a really good position. That really looks like Halloween Gambit. And that's why I can try to play a5. To kick the knight, why not? Okay, let's see if he gonna sacrifice or not. Okay, he's not doing... Most players doing like that, but mostly they can't win. In that game, g5 can be moved. I think he will gonna long castle here, right? Long castle can be moved because this kingside is overextended. He can't bring that pieces over there. Just queenside, that should be not right. He has to attack on that kingside because my kingside isn't that much very protectively. I will take with a knight because if I take with a pawn, we will trade the queens and that should be simple position and that should be very hard to win. I think that should be a drawn game, okay? Okay, how I thought, he long castled. If I take the pawn, he will activate his bishop, but now his bishop isn't doing anything on that a7. I will bring another knight. But this knight on a5 is a little bit disturbing because I can't move just this a3 pawn. But not a huge problem, you know. Just knight d5, now I can move this pawn on c2 and ruin his position. Let's see if it gonna work or not. Queen is defending in c4, c7. Other way, I would try to go queen c3 and hit that pawn. That's the right time to play c4. If he takes the knight, my pawns will be not in a good position. Okay, just went on h3. Oh, hello bro. Do you wanna play? Let's play if you want, not a problem. Okay, I'm playing chess. Well, I will wait. Okay, he probably missed that pawn, or probably he's trying to go. I'm too bad to play with 1700. Bro, I have some followers that they has only 100 elo. 100. Not a problem. I will, if you play with me and follow my stream, I will explain you your game and you will understand your mistakes and you will improve your chess, okay? I'm here to help improve your chess. Okay, you are just very high rated than my other followers. Don't worry about that. Okay, see, my opponent is doing very bad this game. He blunders his queen in one move. Just don't worry about my rating. I will let you. Okay, after this game, I will wait for your challenge, okay? Let's attack on the knight and then triangle soft fork. That should be the right time for him to resign, but I'm not sure what he's still playing. Well, he resigned. Okay, I am waiting for your challenge. You can send me friend request if you want, so we will stay with each other and play how much you want, okay? Well, let's wait. Have you any questions about chess? I will try to improve your chess like that. Just one mistake that I will say all beginners do: don't try to learn so much openings. Endgames is the best for understanding chess. Okay, I found you. Let's accept your challenge. We have even 10-minute game and see how I rated this my rapid and my blitz and even bullet. Okay, let's start. French Sicilian defense, right? Knight c6, I can try, and then d5. I would like that move. d5 is really working move. That just we are not letting the opponent occupy the center. Knight a7, not knight f6, because he will take the knight on c6 and kick that. But where should I go? d7 is closed, and if I go g5, g4 or h5, he should kick, and that should be GG for him. Okay, if he takes, I will bring my bishop on a6. Why this move is so important? Because that's preventing him from castle. Okay, and we need to just castle and bring the rooks into the game. We need to be fast here. We need to think about fast plan. Because he's king in the middle, I will try to use it as my advantage. Just bishop g7, I will try to activate my pieces with attacking his pieces. And he has to do forcing moves. Other way, I will do attacking moves and bring my pieces on the active squares, okay? Rook b8 to just attack on this b2 pawn. When you are seeing open files, bring your figures into there. It's long castle, but because I have this really good p file, that should be a little bit inaccuracy for him, you know? b2 is very weak, how he can defend that? Okay, a3, but that's not protecting this pawn on b2. And a3 will be hanged. The only move that he can play is king d2. Even I can go c5. And if he moves the knight, knight on c3 will be under attack. Okay, let's play c3, c5, and c3's knight is in danger or not. Probably knight b3. Okay, that's cut my queen. And what if castle? I would like to take the knight, because if he takes with a king, c4 can be moved, and because for pin he would lose that. Okay, he probably missed that I can trade, and okay, he could take with a queen, but after we will trade this rook c8 and I would take the other knight there. But that should be same thing, you know? Because I'm up a figure, I will be happy if we trade some pieces there. At the queens, especially because his queen will be a little bit annoying piece for me. Okay, the rook is hanged, the only right move that he can play. Just take my rook. He's not doing knight c5 only move. Probably he can think that that should be fork. Okay, that's really big, but he was down exchange and he's plundering his rook. I will say he's plundering because maybe you will think that's only exchange you are up, but see how many pawns I took from there. That's why that should be winning for me, not for him. And he's plundering the knight. Is he gonna resign or not? I will do that pre-moves. And because his king is cut off, so he can't go any closer. Okay, how can I win? Okay, this pre-moves route leads me to mate. Okay, which did. Let's play a match with him. He played very well, also in the middle game, in that 20 or 25 moves. That was actual position, you know? That everything started when he missed that exchange. That's why I won, because if that weren't, probably that should be drawn position. And that's why you need to learn endgames more, just for endgame understanding. Okay, hello my friend. How are you? Let's bring the queen into this e-file. And his knight is under attack. I could even bring the rook, why not? Do you wanna play, my friend? Okay, thank you too. I am actually very fine to have viewers like you all. Let's take this b7. His rook is under attack. And my bishop is under attack too. Okay, wait a minute. After this game, I promise I will finish this early. Not, you don't need to wait long. Okay, let's see, can I win this or not? Okay, he blocked the way for my bishop. I'm up a pawn, but also he has isolated pawns there. Okay, sorry, wait a minute, I will return. No, I didn't end the stream. Sorry for that. I just had some work that I need to do as hurry as I can. Okay, I returned. I have a friend request here, right? Okay, let's accept. And we will play after this game with you. We take with a queen, knight a4, because in endgames the bishops are really good pieces, so I will take that. The knights are doing a really good job when position is a little bit closed, but because also his bishop was protecting the knight isn't guarding. So let's get this straight, and he can't run his rook. That's a really famous trap that you don't need to fall for it. Okay, what should he try to do? Rook d2 or not? If rook d2, just king a1, and because his rook on b2 isn't defended, I will try to bring my king closer, and rook c8 is just unnecessary because that's deactivating the rook. That's probably why he went back. I will go rook d2 if I were rook d1, and after this trade he could run with rook b1 check, but now he can't. Okay, let's trade, and if he's not trading, just king d1, king c1. His rook will be gone, he needs to sacrifice on b3, but because already he's down a bishop, he will lose that without a rook. Yes, I probably would have resigned at this point. Yes, you should do right. I will appreciate that. Because even 2000 rated players are not resigning when they have only a pawn, and even if it's not. Even I am not sure you know Afid pawn or not. I won Afid pawn one time, and also I played with him one time. He's nearly 2400 and even a little bit higher rated than this. I won him, and he played the last move. Just I was up 14 points material, but he played all that moves. Probably he thought that should be a stalemate or something like that. Okay, what's your name? Joshua Johnson. Okay, send me challenge. Or even I can send you challenge. That was a friend request, right? Okay, bro, you are really good too. If we compare our ratings, you just played a really good game there. Okay, bro, we are not friends? Okay, anyway, I'm adding you. No problem, bro. Okay, now we are friends. Joshua Johnson, I am waiting for your challenge. Or even I can send you, but I think you are not in chess.com. That's just the program says you are not. But anyway, thank you, bro. Follow for my streams, and we will play with you another time. Okay? Okay, Joshua Johnson, I'm sending you a challenge. Unrated? How you want? There is no problem. I sent you a challenge. Yes, I sent you a challenge. Check your chess.com and let's play. I think I need to just send another challenge to you. Okay, bro, thank you too. I know, I am not remembering you were my... okay, goodbye, bro. Just... I think I know you. Or not. I'm not sure, but if I doing my first or second stream, probably you joined that stream. I can't remember. Or maybe in my first account when I am doing streams. Yes, I'm speaking about you. Or probably when I did my first stream or second stream in my another account. Probably you were in my channel. I am remembering anything like that, but I'm not sure, you know. Joshua Johnson, I sent you a challenge there. Okay, if you don't remember, probably we are not meet another time. Rico Moria, okay, I sent you a challenge. Okay, goodbye, bro. Good day to you. We'll play another time. Joshua Johnson, I sent you a challenge. That's first time. If I cancel that, we can't play, okay? Okay, around 1400, yes? Really good rating. Also, you are up from so much players as your rating. And my rapid rating isn't same as my bleed rating. I'm playing mobile, so I will rejoin stream after. Okay, bro, just because stream when I'm explaining, you can get your explanation, okay? That's the advantage that you can get, but not a problem, just I'm saying for you. I will try to bring my knight on f5 to pressure on this d5. Okay, if it takes, I can take with a pawn, no problem. Let's castle. And probably bishop a6. Why not? Bishop a6 for defend this pawn on d5. Okay, now everything isn't hanging in his position, but we will try to add some pressure over it. Bishop d7 or a6 can be moved. The only idea, rook c8. Okay, let's do that. And a5 even can be moved. Just if you get some trade, a5 will be open and his queenside will be ruined, because if that bishop area diagonal would be open, I would try to bring this rook into the game and a3 will be hang. just his king can be just a little bit weak, so he needs to castle how fast he can. Okay, let's see how he can respawn. His queenside is a really much bad, and he don't need actually to sacrifice that pawn because that with no reason. Okay, sorry for that. Let's take. He needs to take with a knight because I don't think he wants to sacrifice the rook for no reason. Okay, and he missed the rook. I'm not happy to see that. What if I bring the queen and try to take the knight? Also, I can bring another rook into the game, but still he can't move the knight. That won't be pin, he will lose another rook here. And he's not pinning my queen, just I pinned his rook. Knight b4. And I will attack on my last rook in his knight, and he should move that, otherwise he will lose. And especially I will say that's already losing for him, because the rook in the endgame is a really good figure, just if it cannot trade, or he lost in that position because of one move, and before that he actually played really good. Just let's not forget that I'm up about 60 points of material there. Okay, knight d3 can be moved. We will get trade, but let's not forget that he's down the rook here, so I would be happy if he trades some pieces over there. Okay, that actually can work, why not? He's still defending. Rook c5, and this pawn is under attack. His knight is under attack, and the other knight, if I trade that, I think that's already should be clear win for me. I will try to use this passed pawn to make a new queen, because if I don't make that, should be hard to try to mate with these only two pieces there. Let's see how he can respond. Okay, g3 just should be really losing move. That should blunder mate in one, yes. Let's be careful about that. And if he trade, which I don't think he will do. Okay, I will push this pawn forward. And f3 is hang, because for pin he can't take, but he prefers to sacrifice the knight. Probably he couldn't take that. Okay, here is the end. Let's end this stream. Follow my channel, and you won't lose my streams. I will play it with you another time. And goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining my streams. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Goodbye, everyone.